Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Mouse.
And I'm Mazzy.
And this is Obscura Undead, your weekly source for band news, tour news, and music reviews.
Thanks for joining us this week. We are going to be talking about new tour news from The Cure and The Damned, along with a really fun, cool children's book project that you may not have heard of for Wave Gothic Treffen. And we're going to also be talking about a little bit of TV news because even though it's not goth, we love TV. We're also going to be doing 4 album reviews this week for Trust, Glume, The Ire, and Minuit Machine, which we haven't shut up about. So you stay tuned. And also stay tuned for our album giveaway this week. We are giving away the latest Hante album, Fierce. So to start off with The Cure, we now know of another US show date. Did you see this?
It's in California.
It's in California, in Pasadena. And I found out about this through Kaylin Mikla's Instagram because they posted the show flyer because they're also going to be performing with The Cure, which is so appropriate because Robert Smith loves them. But also on the bill is like Pixies and Deftones. So.
And it's going to be taking place August 31st in Pasadena.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have a link to the information for it. Flyer's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's called the Pasadena Daydream Fest.
Also, the Twilight Sad will be there. So you know whoever's organizing this festival really likes alternative, dark wave, and you name it. I mean, you've got the Pixies on there. So
cool.
I'm looking forward to seeing some pictures and some news out of that festival. I won't be able to go.
The Cure's Sydney show is coming up later this month, where we're going to be able to get the live stream of that. Can't wait. They're going to be playing Disintegration because, it's the anniversary, 30
and the
years.
Best album, also.
It is. Oh, it is. There's also the Damned tour news. So they are launching their North American tour in next week. Oh, gosh, I think on the 22nd. And they're going to be playing pretty much the entire album for their third release. Oh crap, what was that called? Machine Gun Etiquette. Yeah, and it's going to be Dave Vanian and Captain Sensible, and it has to be those two. Oh, Captain Sensible. Monty Oxymoron and Pinch, along with Paul Gray, who was in the Strawberries era as the bassist. It's mostly a West Coast tour.
There's also a show that the Damned is going to be doing with the original lineup of the Misfits in Denver.
Is that on this tour?
No clue. But it's happening in September.
Oh no, I don't think that's on this tour.
I may have to. We may have to link to that. But the original lineup
of the Misfits.
Yes,
doesn't Danzig hate Jerry Only?
Danzig and Jerry Only, they're both on there.
Bullshit! I don't believe this.
It's happening. It's happening. That's why it's news.
I thought that Jerry Only and Danzig just had such irreconcilable differences that they couldn't work together.
Well, now they're boyfriends and everything's good.
Oh, I wonder if he's still sad about the Fiend skull being plastered all over Hot Topic merch.
Oh, well.
Cool.
You can't undo that.
You can't undo that. Well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty damn cool. I'm not going to go to Denver for it because I'm poor, but that's pretty damn cool. So go check out The Damned at any of the shows that they are playing nowhere near Tampa.
That's okay.
It's okay.
What else? Speaking of tours.
Speaking
of Wave Gothic Treffen.
Treffen.
Mm-hmm.
There is a really cute project that Christian of Rule of Three, which is a music review webzine. If you've ever heard of the band Kill Shelter, that's Pete Burns, the other half of Rule of Three. He's working on a Wave Gothic Treffen children's book with Gothicature. If you haven't seen Gothicature, it's caricatures of, goths, and it's so fucking adorable. And the project is called Wir Kellerkinder. And yeah, it's a Wave Gothic Treffen children's book. Hopefully they're going to be opening the Kickstarter up for it soon, because I know that if, at certain tiers you can get your own picture drawn and added to the book, and that would be so cool.
What?
Ashcode is already drawn into it.
Oh my god.
And they are adorable.
They are adorable to begin with, so.
I recently found out that they're twins, Basil.
They are twins. They are cute
It's
as heck.
so obvious. They look like twins, like on
I
everything.
know, but I mean, when you look at the pictures, and sometimes you only see one, and you're like, "There's that guy again."
Oh, they must have just copy pasted him into this photo. No, they're twins.
With the same haircut. That's what confuses everyone.
Right?
Except probably the mirror image. I don't know.
That's too much.
I'd love to have a twin. So
Let's talk TV. We love TV.
Yeah, let's talk about TV.
What's coming up that you're excited about?
Netflix. I'm always excited about Netflix. I am.
Netflix is gonna die, guys.
No, it's not. It's going strong. So an Invader Zim movie is planned, and it's coming up faster than you think. Summer. Isn't it summer now?
No, I think summer officially starts in July.
I'm so confused. Winter's coming. I thought that summer was
Winter's still here.
Yeah. So it's coming.
Yeah. So it's gonna be on Netflix this summer.
And then I also heard there's a Rocko's Modern Life movie also happening on Netflix.
I haven't seen any trailers for that. I've seen the trailer for the Invader Zim movie, and honestly, it has my inner Molgoth screaming.
I think they have to release them one at a time. So one at a time, and then of
okay,
course
Netflix has never done one at a time. They put out a serialized, not serialized, but like pop culture as it's happening reaction show all at once to binge watch. That doesn't work. So Netflix is probably just going to release everything at once.
They know we're binging it. They know we're binging it.
No, the Joe McHale show sucked. If that's an unpopular opinion, please tell me down in the comments. We'll fight it out there.
I'm watching Sabrina. I don't know anything about
I've weirdly enjoyed that show. It's so yeah. Anyway, we like TV.
well, we could just keep talking about TV instead of music
we
today.
could do an entire episode about TV because, you know,
you should see us talk about Game of Thrones. It just keeps going.
Yeah.
Going.
Yeah.
Another day.
So to wrap up news, we have a couple of things to look forward to in the next week or so. We have Cold Shower's release on the 24th, Motionless. We talked about that last episode. We talked about their weird 80s music video.
Yes. There is a new music video as well that we have to watch.
Oh, yeah, we do. Okay. And there's also Palais Ideal, Pressure Points.
I think it's French, so it might be Palais Ideal.
Palais Ideal. There's an S in there. If it is in French, that I think that S is pronounced.
I don't know. I mean, I guess people give us pronunciations now, so.
Yeah, people send us pronunciations. We've gotten them in IPA in the comments. That's International Phonetic Alphabet. We've had people send us voice clips with proper pronunciations.
It's fun. It's funny.
We try.
We don't listen to them.
Thanks. Well, we do sometimes.
Oh, I wasn't listening to them.
Oh, you heard it here.
So music videos. Should we tell them what we're going to do with music videos?
Yeah. We're thinking about so we talk too much. So we're thinking about breaking out the music videos into their own React series. So rather than us watch them and tell you about them, we are going to have ourselves plus bring in, if they quit being camera shy about it, a couple of friends. I'm looking at them. And have them react with us to just what's going on in these music videos, because
our initial reactions are a lot more honest. And we don't sugarcoat anything, and we crack up a lot. We do.
We're not exactly nice.
Yeah.
So we're reviewing 4 albums this week. We are reviewing the latest releases from Glume, Trust, Minuit Machine, and The Ire. So let's get started with Trust. Their latest release, The Destroyer 1. And that 1 does mean that it is part 1 of 2.
It's not actually a -1.
Yeah, it's not -1. What would be a Destroyer -1?
I don't know.
But this album was originally, the album wasn't originally 16 tracks. Originally, Robert Alphonse, the singer, had recorded 16 tracks and felt that there was a natural emotional break in there, so he decided to do The Destroyer 1, and we're gonna get a part 2 later sometime this year.
Hopefully sometime this year, because you'll remember the first track from this album was called Bicep, and that was released as a teaser in 2017. And we thought that our album was coming, and we still had to wait 2 years. Finally, The Destroyer is out, part 1, so maybe we can get a little bit more before the year is out. Crossing our fingers.
So this album is the first one that Robert Alphonse, aka Gay Joe Dirt, aka Gothior,
Oh,
has released as Trust TR/ST instead of Trust
actually,
spelled.
it'll be slashed backwards this way.
Whatever direction the slash goes, there's a slash in there.
It used to be Trust TRUST, but
Yeah.
it's been changed to TRST.
Yeah, the U got slashed out, just like Maya Pastewski.
Oh no!
She didn't get slashed out. She actually just went to Belgium, I think, to work on her solo stuff as Princess Century.
So just to back up, the band was started in 2012 with Rob Alphonse and
Alphonse.
Okay, and I almost said Halford.
Halford.
And Maya Pastewski. And she is the drummer of Ostra.
Mm-hmm.
So they were writing songs together when the band formed in 2012.
Yeah.
And
Ostra and Trust were both Toronto-based.
yes.
Yeah.
And now she's gone.
Now she's gone. So Alphonse is all by himself.
Yep. And this is his third release.
Mm-hmm.
The first release was self-titled. I think it didn't have a name. Has a really wonky cover.
Is that the one with the weird vampire-y,
yeah, in a wig.
cover?
Yes, very alarming. But that came out in 2012. Everybody loved it, got a lot of high praise, and I think it might have gotten some awards too. And then the second studio album was Joyland. A little bit of a darker feel, I think. There were some dancier tracks on there. And now Destroyer. And that huge gap in between. Since we heard Joyland in 2014, a lot can happen in 5 years. But I still believe that this is pretty true to the Trust sound. Does not disappoint. Once you realize that you're here for Rob's vocals, it's, beautiful alto. Is that what they call it? A high-pitched voice.
Is that a baritone?
Baritone's deep.
Oh, I don't know.
Baritone's like Barry White.
Oh.
You don't know.
Bassotronic.
No.
I have no idea, but I was reading through an interview that he did, and he said that a big inspiration for this album was Nine Inch Nails' Downward Spiral.
What?
And I did not hear that anywhere except
yeah.
maybe in Poorly Coward right in the middle of the track when it got a little industrially.
I didn't hear any of that at all.
Right?
I mean, you look at something like Nine Inch Nails and you've got a variety of drum beats and tempos, and that's not really happening in this album.
Yeah, it was very synth poppy, and Rob's vocals kind of reminded me of Soja, which is a reggae-ish dance hall-y band. Completely different genre, very, very different, but on Gone, it reminded me so strongly of the guy from Soja's vocals. I can't unhear it, and it just makes me laugh.
I can't speak to that. Maybe she's spot on. I don't know.
Otherwise, he just kind of sounds, like a German synth pop singer.
Yeah, I love it. Very high pitch. So let's get into the tracks. I think that the pace of the albums is very delightful. It kind of reminds me of the Minuit Machine. So you've got this landscapes of wave music happening with just minimal drum beats, and his voice just carries the whole thing because that's really what you're there for.
I felt he was doing more with his voice.
Yes.
It was really nice.
Yeah.
I don't know, this seems like a release that I wouldn't like because it is still very synth poppy. But
You should like it.
But it seems like something that I wouldn't like just on paper, but I keep going back to that album and listening to it because I don't know what it is that I like about it.
I wish
I did, but
I think beautiful songwriting is all that matters.
It is really nice.
You've got some standout tracks. Bicep, of course. I still think it's the best song on the album.
I liked Gone and Wake With.
Gone is great songwriting. Grouch is a very cool song.
You know what's the name of his self-release label?
Grouch?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay. That's why he's Eeyore. Very beautiful vinyl as well. It's teal with some black bleeding into it.
Yeah.
Very cool. But other than that, definitely great listen. Pick it up. If you haven't heard of Trust before, honestly, you have to go back and get the first two albums, and then this just kind of caps it off.
Yeah, and really this album also just proves to us that vowels aren't cool.
Oh, no, yeah. U's are so 2015.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So go pick that up. It was out April 19th. Go see what Gay Joe Dirt Goth Eeyore has to sing about. I just really think those are funny. All right. Let's talk about Glume next.
Glume.
So Glume, the album that we looked at, Vacant Eyes Can't Dream. This came out on May 10th. This is the solo project of Salt Lake City native Tyler Tovey. I'm not sure what's really going on in this album. Like, it's described as cold wave and minimal synth.
So I loved it, and I was also confused by the tags until I listened to the whole thing.
Yeah.
It is doing the way the songs are ordered. When it starts out, I actually thought I was listening to just dark wave.
Yeah.
The first track was very dark wave sounding and just
dancey
goth.
His vocals were kind of like subsumed in the music, and then like the rest of the album hits and it's like right there and droning and like on top. And...
Yeah, it goes from cold wave to minimal wave in the middle of the album. So that's kind of tough terms to describe.
But the thing is, he had like these like elements that kind of reminded me of like really classic old school industrial.
Yes.
I mean, can we call it minimal industrial?
Yeah, there's minimal EBM.
So why can't we have minimal industrial? Is that a thing?
Once you go minimal, it becomes EBM. When you take the elements out of industrial,
is that how it works?
That's exactly how it works. That's what EBM is.
So this is an EBM album.
It has EBM elements.
Okay, can we call it cold industrial?
I think once you get into industrial, it's not industrial.
Okay. It's not industrial.
It's not industrial.
It has industrial, like classic industrial elements, though. Like, fight me on that one.
I might have to off screen. So, goth wave is what I detected in the first couple of tracks. Let's see. Once you get about halfway through, there's a track that he did with the Glowing Void.
Glowing Void.
That was the first like cold wave, minimal wave track, and that's very synthy. So, I mean, it could be like minimal synth.
Well, that's the one where I wouldn't call it minimal synth necessarily, but that's the one where I started getting like those classic industrial vibes, like
EBM.
Maybe I don't listen to EBM. Maybe there are markers in there that are just like I associate with industrial. I don't know.
It's just the bass line. It's just a straight up beat, but the vocals are goth wavy.
It's this droning like old school Skinny Puppy sound.
I loved it. Skinny Puppy doesn't have any cohesion usually in their melody, but.
It was the way that the vocals were presented. Like, I found a lot of this album very interesting. And like, I liked it.
And it's all right for us to have different opinions on it. I loved it. I really loved it. I had to give it a few listens. So as you can see, we can't pinpoint it to a genre.
Yeah, it definitely hits all over the place. As a lot of music nowadays does. Like, people, I think, are more free to experiment than ever simply because everything's online and they don't have to worry about record sales, like physical record sales, in the same way that they did before.
I love the variety.
This is all speculation. I have no idea.
We don't know.
Yeah,
that's what our opinions are, our own, and that's that.
That first track, Human Touch, though, I've been hearing that since the beginning of this year when the single came out.
Oh,
so that was really nice. I actually completely missed that the album was released. So thank you, to our friends for pointing that out. So I almost missed this one. That would have been a real tragedy.
Our buddy Chris Rosano told us about it, and you're revisiting it, and I'm visiting it for the first time. So now I'm following this guy, and looking forward to great things from him in the future.
Yeah. What was your favorite track?
Probably that first track, Human Touch.
That was really good.
And the one with Glowing Void, which just started off that like cold wave.
Oh, see, mine was Pale Love when it started going back into like the more dark wave feel on the album.
And then the last track was, I don't know, I call it a throwaway track, but it didn't have anything but like ambient noise in it.
Yeah, and, it didn't really do anything.
Nope.
Like, it just felt very strange having that track at the end of the album because you didn't have something like that throughout or at the beginning. I felt like where you would expect like that kind of bookending, but it was just...
if there was the same thing in the beginning and the end, I'd be like, okay, this is a guy who has an intro and an outro, but it was just the outro, so that felt kind of out of place.
Yeah, it did.
Move it to the middle
or something. Yeah, but this release was pretty great. Salt Lake City, I guess. Rock on. So Minuit Machine. What's the name of the album?
Infrarouge, which we screwed up the first couple of times.
Yeah.
It's now out. It came out on May 13th.
Yeah, people were pointing out that we were saying the U in the wrong place because U's are dumb, as we have established, as this album establishes with the single track. So we get a pass, maybe? No. But
so
anyway.
This is on Synth Religion,
Religion.
which is Once label.
Helena Thoré.
And she, of course, is in the band with Amandine something.
Stioy?
No, she can't have the same last name as Helene.
No, it's not the same. It's like Stioy or Stioy.
Amandine
Yeah, Amandine.
and Helene got together again after a 3 or 4 year hiatus. 4-year hiatus. And they've put together a beautiful album. Just to bring it back, the last album was called Violet Rains. It came out in 2015.
Violent Rains.
Violent
Rains. It's just everything about the album is purple,
I
including the
get
shiny
really
vinyl
confused.
you got.
Yeah, the vinyl
It's
is
so pretty.
violet.
I'm jealous you have it.
Violent Rains. And those tracks are lush and dark wave and a few dancey tracks that people love, like Battles and Black Is My Anger. And then you have, fast forward to today, and you have this album. And not only is it a completely different color scheme, but I think the pace and the vibe of the album is considerably different.
It's so different.
While being still a progression of who they are.
Yeah.
So, we were talking about this gap in between. You've got a 4-year gap. You're different people now. It focuses on some elements like numbing yourself to everything that's going on in the world around you. And
it felt very much like how I feel as a millennial.
And me being a little bit older, I'm also numb and desensitized. No. Very numb and desensitized to everything, all the stimulus. So, the standout track, Drugs, which was released as like a music video beforehand, kind of embodies the idea of the whole record.
Yeah. So I really felt that the album was kind of the acoustic embodiment of dissociation. So dissociation is something that happens. It's like a state of mind where you feel like you're just observing yourself from afar. Like you're just watching yourself go through the motions of like living, or it's a really weird feeling. Like
an out-of-body experience?
Kind of, because I feel that way when I'm having like really bad depressive bouts. Like it eventually, if it lasts long enough, I have these dissociative states and I'm just like, this album feels exactly and sounds exactly like how I feel during those. And it's all about, like, I like that the themes of the album, they don't deal with like social issues in like an angry or reactive way. And the album doesn't deal with like fantasies or existential issues. It just presents the way that you feel as in just an apathetic, this happens at neutral kind of way, like in a really desensitized and numb way. And I felt that even though some of the album runs together, I don't think you can listen to it as anything other than a whole.
I think so too. It seems to flow up and down as a wave. You have, it starts out with Chaos and goes into Prey Hunter after you hear Drugs. And these are some great tracks. They are very minimal, I'll say again. You have very simple and light bass lines balanced with some synth lines that are they're cyclical and easygoing. It's just like a really nice, easy to swallow album.
For the topics that it deals with, like 98, I think it's inches. It's the two dashes.
Inches?
Or is that? Yeah.
Yeah, that's inches.
Yeah. So 98 inches. It's a song about, I guess a woman, and I don't know if it's a consensual lover or not, and she just takes I don't know how else to say it. Like it's not, like I said, I don't know if it's a consensual lover or not, but she just, lets the guy have sex with her and just lays there staring at the wall, and the guy thinks that she's into it and wants it, and she just stares at the wall. And it's such a powerful song, and you don't necessarily pick up on that, like just with the way that the melody is.
No, and most of the songs are like that. So I think I'm gonna have to go through and experience each song with the lyrics.
I had
because
to
that's
on some
probably
of these
going to
tracks.
be. That's the main part of this whole album.
Yeah.
Is the lyrics and their deeper meaning, because the music is very pulled back and minimal
And hopeless, like in a way that's not sad. It's like an apathetic hopelessness.
It kind of is.
Yeah. I really adored this album.
I do too. Also, make sure you pick it up on vinyl. It comes in red and orange. Beautiful colors.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we had to cut to go watch the Gothsicles singing "Holy Shit, We're Playing Kinetic" because we needed a good
That
laugh.
doesn't rhyme.
It does not rhyme. So we're back to talk about the Ire and their demo release from January. I think January 2nd.
Let me tell you.
January
One
3rd.
second.
It's
Just hold.
Okay, January 3rd. So the Ire is a new, I guess, post-punk, kind of proto-goth, almost death rock sounding
Very
band.
post-punk
Yeah,
from Philadelphia.
from Philly. And I absolutely love this band. I haven't been this excited for sort of a like band's just overall debut into like anything for forever. When I stumbled across this album back in January, I was trying so hard to find them anywhere online. They have like no social media presence. I think it's gotten a little bit
Well,
better.
they're new, right?
Yeah, but most people set up like a Facebook page for their band or
They're that punk rock.
yeah, they're
they
that
just-
punk rock.
They don't have it. So the band seems to be made up of a couple of people. It looks like 3 girls and a guy.
3 girls and a guy.
And I know you love your female-fronted punk bands.
Yeah, and she doesn't sound like Susie Sue, which is amazing. No, she has a very...
She doesn't look like Susie Sue either.
She also doesn't look like Susie Sue. She is a beautiful black woman.
Ah, that's awesome. So this release is called Demo. So hopefully there's more to come.
Mhm. It was
to
too
me-
short, 5 tracks.
It was 5 tracks. To me, it actually sounded like a demo. It sounded like something you would hand to someone else on like a cassette tape.
Yeah, and the band sounds like exactly what you want to hear when you like stumble across like a cool looking show flyer for a coffee shop or like someone's backyard. And you wish every time it was this band and not whatever does end up playing.
It does sound like they're playing in somebody's house though, and for better or for worse, that lo-fi basement sound.
Oh, I love it.
It's definitely in there. But once you get past that, the songs are pretty fun.
Yeah, their bass is great. Their guitar melodies are just on
The
point.
guitar was standout for me.
Oh, it was so beautiful. Like, so beautiful and raw and just awesome.
And you wouldn't normally expect that with, like, your basic punk band. And not post-punk, but I mean, I want to say punk. I know it's
I want
not
to say it's closer to more like proto-goth, like the more
Okay.
punkier side of like early goth.
the
post-punk.
punkier side, absolutely. And so
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm getting at. The guitar melodies are the most interesting to me, and then the vocal melodies as well. They actually put some thought into it instead of just making a riff and then like looping that through the whole.
Yeah, they're pretty
3-minute
damn
song.
talented.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you can find it on Bandcamp. 5 songs.
You can get it on cassette.
That's exactly appropriate. So my favorite was the Torch song.
Oh, I love Catabasis. The Catabasis.
Bass.
The last song. Every track on here was amazing, but I really did love Catabasis. They have some shows coming up, which is fucking awesome.
I'm sure they play live shows all the time, and
They
I'm
do
sure they're
not.
amazing.
No, when I was trying to find more information about them, nothing. They played a couple of shows. That's how I finally fucking tracked them down. But they're playing some more shows. Some in Philadelphia, one in Pittsburgh. Check out their Bandcamp page. It has the tour dates on it. And if you are anywhere nearby, I strongly recommend going to go check them out.
And record them.
And record
send
them.
it to us.
Please. They are also playing at Near Dark in Oakland later this year, that was so cool to see them pop up on the flyer for that. Like, someone
didn't
over there
notice that.
has definite taste. So that's really cool.
When is that? September?
I think it's September. I think it's about midway through September. There's so many festivals in September this year. I've lost track of a couple of them. There's like San
Cold
Muerte,
Waves.
there's Cold Waves, there's Absolution Fest, there's A Twist in the Dark.
it just keeps going.
Oh gosh, I don't know when A Murder of Crows is. Maybe that's then too. I don't
No,
know.
that happened already this year.
I thought they were having another one.
Well, sure. Well, probably January.
There's a lot of festivals later this year. We should do an episode actually covering them all.
We should.
Maybe we'll do that next week. Do our festival episode because we're going to be heading to Treffen.
We're gonna be gone.
So we're going to be gone. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, the channel might be down for about 2 weeks if we can't find Wi-Fi. I know, what a way to tell you right in the middle of reviews. Go check out the Ire. Go check out the Ire. You will not be disappointed. The album is Name Your Price, so if, give them $1. Give them $10. Like, goddamn, this album is amazing. It is an amazing demo and they're at the start of their career, and I really hope that they skyrocket and continue and make more music because, yes. So we'll put a link to that down below, as always, and everything else.
All right.
And that's the reviews.
Hope you enjoyed it. Please let us know what you think about our album reviews down in the comments. We would love to hear from you. Also, if you have any suggestions on other new music to cover, just drop us a line and we'll check it out.
And check out our running releases list up on our website. A lot of stuff gets put on there in hindsight because we don't catch it on the first run around, but we try to put all of the post-punk, dark wave, cold wave, goth, death rock, all the genres we cover up on that list. And if you see anything that we miss, please tell us. I do that mostly by myself, and it's a hell of a job. So it's that time again. We have to draw a winner for last week's album, Twin Tribes, Shadows. Yeah.
This
All
album
right.
is so pretty.
It's
I'm sure I've mentioned that a couple of times, but it's red and see-through.
That's the vinyl. We're not giving away the vinyl. We are giving away a digital copy, which is just as good.
Sure.
All right, so let's see who wins. Let's roll those numbers.
Well, the people who participated, we asked you last week to tell us about your favorite concert experience. So we're going to our comments to see who the entries are.
And the winner is, drumroll,
Jim Walker.
Jim Walker.
So Jim says, Christian Death Reunion with Roz Williams at Masquerades in Ybor.
Hey, I know where that is. Well, I know where Ybor is.
Well, it's not Masquerade anymore. It's now called the Ritz. It's gone. I got there early and hung out with Rick Agnew. Can't even say this. Shut up. Rick Agnew and Eva O in their Winnebago.
That is not Liz Winnebago.
Best show ever.
That sounds really cool.
That does. A goth Winnebago.
Gothabago?
Gothabago.
Gothabago.
I want one. Winnebago?
Winnebago. Yes. So congratulations, Jim Walker.
All right, we'll reach out to you and give you your shit.
And the album we are giving away for next week is the last one that we'll be giving away for a while, and it is a copy of Hante.
No, Aunt. It's Aunt.
Their most recent release, Fierce. And the burning question that we have for you this week is, who is your favorite quote-unquote and more quotey quotes goth character in a movie, TV show, cartoon, comic, or any of the above media? Let us know. And we will, of course, pick one and read it out loud and embarrass you. So let us know in the comments down below. We'll be reading and watching and waiting. Thank you. So let's read some viewer input from the last video.
J Decay.
Oh, saying that Liz Winnebago is his favorite artist out there, to be honest.
Is that really her name?
No.
That's just what I said, right?
That's just what you said. Yeah, it's just you fucking up.
So J Decay says, I really like that new Sans Sombre track. We do too. Liz Winnebago, my favorite artist out there, to be honest. Talking about your She Passed Away pin. It's hard to read until he realized it's the same pin he has on his bag. It was just upside down.
He also said that we look fabulous, but especially Mouse's hair. Because you can see her scalp. I love your hair like this.
My head is cold all the time. I need a hat, like a big Rastafarian hat.
I really wish you wouldn't.
Like a goth hat.
Didn't you make an I'm sorry comment when we were talking about reggae?
Yes.
Yeah, so just don't.
Well, it would be like a black one.
Ew. If you're into those hats, cool. But I'll take a big old pass on that. What other good comments do we have? Beth Razoth is excited to hear that a Death Rock episode might happen.
Wicked Sin says, bucket list, I'd love to go see The Cure and or Switchblade Symphony. Well, there's no more Switchblade Symphony.
But The Cure is totally doable. I saw them in Honolulu, of all places. It was a great show.
Oh, Neon Zagain says, excellent video, guys. As for my favorite concert, as cheesy as it sounds, my favorite gig was actually seeing my uncle's band at age 17. It inspired me to start playing.
Aw.
That's great. That's really cool.
Yeah. Oh, we got someone loving on the new music we had in the background. Thanks for noticing. It is an instrumental version of Ghost Crawl from Shadow Assembly's upcoming album, Ghost Crawl, which is Mike of Chronic Twilight and Brandon of Sun Sombres kind of, partner project.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks for that track, guys.
And I got a comment from Mike Ferris, who says, sup, mouse. Sup, Mike? All right.
And our friend Chris Rosano.
Yes.
Keep up the great videos.
Who sent us the Glume suggestion.
Yes.
Thank you, Chris.
And thank yous. We have to thank our patrons. We have 2 new ones this week at the Violet tier or above. That's where you get read on the show. So that list is getting big. Like, seriously. Wow. So let's start from the bottom with the new ones. Thank you, Jay and Turnus.
Thank you, Junkyard Bat.
Thank you, Beth Razoth.
Thanks, Mason Shiver.
Thanks, Diasiculus.
Can't believe I've been saying that wrong for so long. Thank you, Dave Azoiker. Azoiser.
From Sweden. That was dumb, I'm sorry. Thank you, Cadaver Kelly.
Thank you, Acid Bitter.
And thank you, Skullgirdle. I know we say it every episode that we love you, but it's because every week we still love you.
Yes.
Thank you for being so lovable and for giving us money, really.
All right. That's it.
That is it. If you liked anything that we played, go buy it, support the artists, all that jazz.
Smash that subscribe button.
And the notification bell, and what else do you smash? The like button.
I smash a lot of other things. But we're not allowed to talk about that.
No. And you can follow us on any social media platform, Instagram,
our website.
Facebook, our website, Spotify, Twitter.
Mixcloud.
All at Obscura Undead. We are Obscura Undead on everything. I believe we are the only Obscura Undead, so yay. And we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, and if you send us any pictures of us on your TVs, please, I will put them in a public album on my Facebook profile because it's hilarious and I love it. Thank you. Okay. Good night.
Bye.